pay the deposit of 5,000. So we're three, so we're gonna pay 20. We have to pay 5,000 deposit. So I paid the 5,000. The agents carried the money and vamos, run away. I didn't know they're telling me welcome to visa visa hunting.
Oh, welcome to visa hunting.
Then I got another one. Okay.
So he took the money and then you didn't hear anything.
The money vanished. They blocked me.
They blocked you on top.
Then I got another one.
Wait, was the agent? Well, we need to know. Was the agent an African?
No. This one was not African.
Okay, so at least you are safe on that side.
I'll wait till the African part hits you.
What's up, people? It's your boy J to the O to another J to the O. Yours truly, Jojo. Welcome back to this channel. You know what time it is. And if you haven't watched my last video where I was telling you guys that we're going to bring you guys more interviews, today we're bringing you a very interesting conversation that you guys are going to like. And please do well to give me a like on this video. I need about 30 likes on this video, okay? So do well to give me 30 likes on this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do well to sub to the channel. We're going to talk about life in China. And I have with me a very beautiful lady who I work with. But guys, she's off the market, okay? So don't even text me and ask for her number. She's off the market, okay? So let's get right into it, guys. What's up?
I'm fine. Hi, Jojo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Teacher Ruth.
Yeah, it's been
Let me just even leave the teacher out. Today we are not Teacher Ruth. Today you are Ruth.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ruth,
Yeah.
how's life been?
Well, life has been good. There's a saying that as long as there's life, there's hope. So as long as I'm among those living, I think I'm okay.
Nice one. Nice one. So Ruth, today we're going to talk about life in China, right? In general for foreigners. Okay. More or less like both Africans, especially Africans, because right now the borders are open, right?
Yeah.
The restrictions are down. Oh, thank God, the restrictions are down, and
Finally.
students will be coming in very soon. And there was someone asking me a question on TikTok. It was one time he was asking me a question. So, guys, if you're planning to come to China, this video you have to watch to the end. Okay, so. Ruth, let's start with how you got to China. You came to China to school, to work. Let's start.
I actually came via study route to China.
Okay.
And it was a sweet, bitter experience. Mostly when I came because I thought, like, going to China, I'm going to study and I'm going to work. And then I was this young girl. I didn't even do my research. All I had was, you can the agent that actually helped me came like, you come to China, we can help you get student visa. And I was like, can I work? And he said yes. I was like, okay, fine. For me, it was like I'll be able to school, I'll be able to work, and it will be something I love doing, which was my major. He actually was able to help me get my major, which is something I wanted to study. But I was like, okay, I can school, I can work. And so that was how I was able to get come to China through the student study route, rather. And yeah, but coming, I realized that not gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to all that. So you came through the study route. Okay, so studying in China, how was it like?
It was okay. I had wonderful teachers. I had a wonderful experience. I never had any issues with any of them. I met people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different countries. So it was for me. It was a nice experience because I was able to build friendship, networking. And the teachers, the school were all nice. My city was a small city, but it was okay.
Okay, what city was that?
Liaoning, Jinzhou.
Liaoning, Jinzhou.
Yeah.
Hey, you know where I schooled? I also schooled in Liaoning.
Which part of Liaoning? Oh my goodness.
It's a small world, guys. It's a small world.
Well, which of the schools is it? SMC?
SMC. You know where the best doctors are.
So you're a doctor?
I'm a doctor.
How did you end up being a teacher?
Life happened.
Okay.
Life happened.
Okay.
So, schooling in Liaoning.
Yes.
Now we are in Wuhan.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about life in
Both cities.
both cities. Yes.
Oh.
As so, how was life like as a student on campus? You were saying like everything was okay. You had like really nice teachers and all that. But how was it like dealing with the people within the city, the locals in the city?
For me, I would say Liaoning. I'm using Liaoning because it's a province and it has a lot of cities. I'm using Liaoning because I've been to several cities in that particular province. So I'm speaking, generalizing their attitude, because if I say it's Jinzhou, maybe people are like, oh, it's only Jinzhou you experience such, but I'll say Liaoning, Dalian, Tianlin, Shenyang, Panjin, Jinzhou. The locals, they're a bit okay. Like, you get to see kids walk up to you, they want to know who you are, they want to know where you're from. Even the elderly ones, you just say hi and they start touching your hair. Oh, this your hair? Is it your hair? Jada? Is it gender?
Jada.
Like, it makes you just like to stay among them. And the whole dislike, like, oh, hey Ren, all this stuff, you barely notice it, because nobody even give you, nobody has
cares
that time, nobody
to
cares.
care about whether you are black or.
So for me, I like in Tiele, when I was in Tiele, like all the elderly ones, they just know me, that I could sit in their midst and would just be having fun. I don't feel like I'm an outsider or I don't belong here. So for me, Liaoning, it's the experience with the locals are really nice.
Shout out to all students and teachers who came from Dongbei. Okay?
Yes.
Shout out to Dongbei people. So, you made mention of touching your hair. I know you ladies, African ladies, really don't like it when even Africans, your boyfriend or your husband touch your hair. How did it feel like when they touch your hair? When the locals try to touch your hair?
Okay. For me then, I felt they just wanted to know. It's like they haven't seen this, so you being there and through you, they are able to feel a part of your culture. For me, it was something I was grateful for. I was able to tell them, oh, this is how you do it. Even show the little ones. I just like, it was okay. It's different from when they just come and touch your hair, like, you understand that this is rude. But this one was not being rude. This was them asking out of genuine concern, out of curiosity to know, okay, if this is an African culture, if it's an African thing, and all that. Do you wash it? How long does it take to make it? And all that. It was just genuine concern.
So they just come and they'll be like, when I'm one, it doesn't go far. Because I've also had, in Liaoning, I used to have people like ask me, can I touch your hair? I'm like, no, you can't touch my hair. See, they ask. Compared to those that don't answer, you just see somebody at your back, you're like, what's going on here? That one, definitely you get pissed. You get pissed.
It's different.
So how was cost of living in
Liaoning?
We'll compare the two cities. How was cost of living in Liaoning?
In Liaoning cities, it varies. Like in Tianlin, the taxi starts from 5 kwai. In Jinzhou, it started from 8 kwai. In Shenyang, I think when I left, it was 10 or thereabout.
Shenyang was, I think, 8.
No, but now it's 10.
Now it's 10.
Yeah. So I think it varies from city. And I think it's cheap. It's really cheap. Like food stuff, for me, it was cheap. The market, actually, we go to the big market. It's cheap. In Liaoning, it's cheap. The cost of living was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like then, an apartment I was able to get for 1-2 a month, and it was decent, like really, really decent. So, Liaoning, the cost of living, the food was nice because taste has taste. The cost of living was okay. It was affordable.
So I want to say something. Like the taxi, there's something about this taxi when they use the meter. You know, when it starts, let's say Jinzhou Bohai, where she used to, when it starts at 5, it's gonna keep going and it will remain at 5. But once it changes, that's it. You could be in the taxi like,
you're praying.
Quiet. You're praying. Like you want to get to your location very fast. You're like, you're too slow. Speed up. You know, I used to experience that in Shenyang. So I'm always angry. They're like, why are you angry? I'm like, you are driving too slow. Move. So
you're afraid your money gets you to
I'm telling you, because you have a budget. You know, you have a budget, and especially when you're running late for class, and then because I used to live I like to live
Oh,
further away
campus.
from campus.
Oh, I lived in
So
school throughout.
yeah, so that was the challenge I used to have, because sometimes you are late, you cannot go through the subway, you have to take a taxi. So moving on, what did you study?
Okay, I studied software engineering.
Hey, you studied software engineering, and you are laughing at me that I'm now a teacher. What brought you into teaching?
Life happened. No, I've actually been doing teaching for way before I came to China.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a family thing, grandpa, mom. So
Mm.
I've been doing that, and coming here, I think I didn't even plan on teaching, but then parents will meet me and like, can I take their kids one-on-one lesson
Yeah.
while I was still in school, and then it grew from one kid to two kids to even a small group of lessons. They want me to take the
They want you
kids
to
there,
take the
and
kids.
that was how I started. I was like, wow, it seems I've been running away from this all because I was like, I'm not going to follow you, grandma or what you guys teaching them. I'm breaking out.
You're breaking
And
out.
it just seemed that life was like, when you're done running, you will come back to the fold.
Mm.
So I just started, that was how it started for me. And then I started getting offers. But it started first when my friend was like, okay, substitute for me, I'll be traveling. And then the school didn't want me to go again. They didn't want her to come back, and they didn't want me to go. And I was like,
so
no.
you caused someone.
No, I didn't cause.
You caused someone
I actually,
to lose their job.
no, I only told them if there's another position for me, I would take. But this is for a friend. I can do that. So when she saw that, she herself helped me get. She was one that helped me get another job, and that was how.
Wow. Okay. Because some people will take it though. You know, the system hard. You know what I mean?
It's not mine. It's not. It was the thing I believe in.
Shout out to Ruth, man. She didn't take the job.
I believe in this life that what is yours will always come to you.
Right.
So I didn't want it that way.
So, schooling and working. Now, someone will want to ask: is it legal in China to school and work at the same time?
By law, it's not. So if you're doing it, you better watch your back, because some purpose can come for you anytime, any day, and that's the end of your visa. So
you just be deported.
Yes. If you can do the one where you like part-time jobs, or you're taking kids one-on-one lesson, it's okay, because those one I feel they don't disturb you when you earn less. I think there's a particular what will I say? There's a particular amount, that you don't get trouble for. But when it starts entering in thousands, then
because you know the largest or the biggest note in China is the 100 RMB. So I think when you take more than that, yes, you will. I've experienced or had an encounter with friends who have been in trouble because they probably maybe took money more than 100. So it's like it's a big thing.
It's a big deal.
It's weird, but.
And also, as a student, you can work provided your school is in support. And there's a particular document they will give to you as a student that supports that the school is backing you up and they're aware.
So it's more like a voluntary kind of teaching.
Even if you're being paid for it, it's like maybe the training. Yeah, it's aware, and that letter exempts you from any trouble with the police or with the law.
So which means that the school now has given you a document backing you up and preventing the police from bothering you.
Yes, so they're aware.
I know about that document, but it's not easy for the African students to get it.
I think
it boils from, let's say, your relationship with
the school, and maybe what you've done for the school, maybe your input in the school, and also you could speak the language in case you run into any situation. First, your relationship with the school, what you've done for the school, and then the language also matters. So I will advise any student to really, really focus on learning the language. The language helps a lot. You
have to take the language really serious because once you're here, you're going to meet a lot of people, and the language, like I said in so many videos that I've done, that the language is what is going to bridge the gap between you and the people. It's going to bring some people close to you. All right. So that's nice. So which means that whilst you were schooling, you were making some cash.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yes, to keep the body and soul going.
She doesn't want to say the amount. It's not little. I'm telling you. People charge. You don't mind what you say, but hey, I'm just kidding. It's all fun right here, and it's an interesting conversation. We're gonna get right into it. If you just stopped in to watch my video, you are on this show, which is called Talk to Jojo. We're basically trying to find out life of foreigners living in China. Ruth, let's go on.
Okay.
So now you have moved from Liaoning, Bohai to Wuhan. How is it like? Like lifestyle there, or living in Liaoning and then living in Wuhan?
Wuhan. Oh,
Like, how is it like?
Comparison.
Yeah.
First of all, I never knew that I was going to come to Wuhan. It was not even something I dreamt about. I only knew Wuhan, the name Wuhan, through the whole 2020 COVID issue, and Wuhan is the first city.
The situation, eh?
Yes. So that was how I got to know the name Wuhan. But for coming, I didn't know.
You didn't know.
Yeah, it was why the whole looking for visa, because to stay in this country, if you want to stay legally, you have to have visa.
You have to have a visa.
After school, I didn't know that as a student, living under student visa was a privilege. It's when you graduate, you know that getting a visa in this country is where the Bible says this time does not go except in prayer and fasting.
So it's a difficult thing to get a visa. Trying to get a visa on your own.
Yes.
In this country. I'm telling you, it's we'll get into it. We'll get into it just a little bit. Just small one.
So it was the whole work thing. I was able to get the work visa, and I came to Wuhan.
Right.
And then I started to experience Wuhan and see the comparison between both province and the differences as well. Life in Wuhan, I think, is a bit on the high side, because I think Wuhan is among second tier or first tier city. So
a second tier
city, and so it's a bit on the high side. The cost of living is high, and it was in Wuhan I found out that most of the things you need you have to order online. I never knew that. You have to order online because you can't just get them around you. Yeah, and the city is very big. It's so big. So what else? The transportation, I think it's the same as Shenyang, 10 yuan.
Yeah.
And the people.
Yeah, dealing with the people.
The people. The people.
We're gonna go deep.
The people of Liaoning, I think, like I said earlier, we're very more accommodating and welcoming. Some people in Wuhan also have that same character. I think it's a personal trait.
It's a personal trait.
Some people have that welcoming character, but most, when they see you as a foreigner, I don't know if it's because of the whole virus thing that happened in China that made them to be like on their toes when they see African. I don't know what African had to do with it, but they just feel when they see you, zap the face. If they could cover the whole face, they'll cover the whole face. So for Wuhan,
when they see you, they just want to cover their nose.
For me, the treatment was just 60-40, 60-40 of the not welcoming treatment and 45% of the welcoming treatment. But my colleagues and friends, they're okay. They're all nice and welcoming. But that's just the treatment I've gotten. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's just my area.
Yeah, it's maybe
it's different from other places.
Yeah,
so,
but I too share that same sentiment. I too have experienced one or two living in Shenyang, Liaoning. It was the same as you were saying. It's the people are more welcoming and down to earth, right? In Wuhan, I have experienced, let's say, a little bit of racism. Let me put it that way. I mean, I like to call things by as it is. I just like to hit the nail on the head, right on the head.
I think they are judging. They judge.
Yeah, a little bit judgmental.
Before they even get to know you, or they don't even know you, and they're already saying foul language.
Yes. I mean, I did experience that too in Shenyang, but comparing the two, It's on the
It's on the
high
right
side
here.
here than in. But then again, you definitely meet. I've met amazing people
Oh my god.
in Wuhan where I work. Yeah,
Yes. The
everyone there
colleagues,
is
the
amazing. I've met strangers, total strangers in
yes.
Wuhan who are down to earth
Nice.
and nice, and
I
they
mean,
make you forget
all the
all
hard
the
work.
bad
And
stuff.
you're like, why can't we
Why,
just use it
yeah,
to replace all
why can't
the
everyone
issues? Just
in
be like
Wuhan be like that?
you.
You
Why can't
know,
everyone in the whole country
in
just
the
be
whole
like
world be
you?
like that. You know, because there was one time I went to Zhengzhou, right?
Mhm.
I'm telling a little bit of story based on the scene. We'll get to. So I went to Jingzhou, right, and like business trip,
Mhm.
and the lady I spoke to, she told me when she traveled outside, like she was given really nice treatment
Mhm.
from Africans, from the people there.
Hmm.
So she feels like she has to also give the
The same
same nice treatment
treatment.
to me and to other
Wow.
people. You
Wow.
get it? So, for example, if I'm here and then I'm being treated in a bad way,
When I see
definitely when I
you,
go back to my country and maybe I see you,
that
I also feel
same
bad.
what? Yeah,
I would
you.
want to be like, why are
Why are
you,
you
you know?
enjoying the warm
Yes, you
treatment of
people
my
don't,
country,
you
but you
get
don't give
it.
me the
So
same yours?
now, if you're Chinese and you're watching this, don't get
We love you.
don't get
Nonetheless,
angry
we're
about it.
just talking
We're
about
just talking about the bad side
bad
and then
side.
the good side.
Good
But
side.
if you choose to get angry because of this, then be my guest. Anyways, but remember to like, okay. So let's now we talked about schooling and working and like how to get
Yeah, from
the
student.
permit to work as a student
Yeah.
without getting trouble.
Mm.
So now let's look at getting a visa. Now you're
Hmm.
working. We're both working, right? Getting the visa. Now there are lots of visas out there. You have the
Yeah.
entrepreneurial visa, which we got to know about when we were in Liaoning, which later was cancelled and they were not given to Africans. But that's also another. And then we have the student visa.
The
You
tourist
have
visa,
the tourist
business
visa. You have
visa,
business visa.
family
You have
visa,
family
and then work
visa, and you
visa.
have the work visa.
Yeah.
And with all these visas, the one that you can actually use to work as a teacher, right, or doing any type of teaching stuff, right,
Mm-hmm.
you would need a working visa,
Yeah.
right? So how was it like getting that visa, and how were you able to secure school, get the visa, and I mean enjoying life as it is?
Then okay. Before I got to the getting the work visa
Mm,
for Wuhan, I went through a series of experience because after graduation, I was able to get the entrepreneurship visa in Liaoning for 6 months.
6 months.
Yes, so I was using that to just do business
Yeah.
to keep myself going. Like I wanted to do business. I wanted to actually wanted to start up a company here where I would just be doing business, focus on that while making money for both countries, my country and here. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that because of the visa. It's 6 months before you plan yourself and just get started. And you will know in China, time runs very fast.
Yeah.
It's already 6 months, and then you're struggling again on how to get the next visa. So the money you just made that short period, you're putting it back for extension of
For
visa because
extension
it's
of
not
visa.
cheap.
It's not cheap, right?
It's
It's
expensive.
expensive.
So they gave me the next one, which was to February 2020,
Mm.
and I was using it, and then February came, and then COVID came with 2020 in February. So everything just shut down. Prior to that, in December 2019, they only already given the notice that they are no longer continuing the whole entrepreneurship research stuff. So while I was waiting for February, I was still sorting out other means of, okay, if this expires February, how am I going to extend? What visa am I going to use? Am I going to go back? So I was just trying to plan myself, and I got different agents because it was even through agents I did the entrepreneurship visa. So I was getting different agents. Then I met one. I first of all got one, wanted to do a company visa. We first of all paid a deposit of 5,000. So we were three, so we're going to pay 20. we have to pay 5,000 deposit. So I paid the 5,000. The agents carried the money and vamos, run away. I didn't know they're telling me welcome to visa hunting.
Oh, welcome to visa hunting.
Then I got another one. Okay.
So he took the money and then you didn't hear anything.
Money, he blocked. They blocked me.
They blocked you on top.
Then I got another
Wait,
one.
was the agent? Well, we need to know. Was the agent an African?
No. This one was an African.
Okay, so at least you are safe on that side.
I went to the African part.
Just when I thought that. Oh yeah, continue.
So I met this one. Okay, he was in Nigeria. And he finished from my city, but not directly from my
Nigeria,
school.
from your own country.
He finished from my city, not my school. Then so I was
school.
like, okay, he was just, I've helped people, I've this, I've that. So you're my sister. I'm gonna help you. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. You should pay. We'll pay the first half, which was 15,000.
Eh?
How
many people paid 15,000? 3 people.
No, this is just me because I didn't want anybody.
15,000 RMB.
Pay the first one 15,000. No, the whole money was 25,000.
25. So you had to pay a deposit of 15,000. That's like a little over $1,000.
Yes, when it's out, you pay the rest. So started the whole process. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. In the whole COVID thing, we were doing it just before. That was December 2019. So before February, so that everything will be ready. While my entrepreneurship visa is finishing, I can switch to company visa. So we started then February, March. February it was still not yet out, but then because of the COVID thing, the country was on lockdown. Said if you have visa issue, immigration will normally extend 2 months
for you. Yeah.
So I went, extended the first 2 months, and it kept going. Then he said all the documents is out. My company license is out. So he applied for work permit for me, and then they did the work permit. But then there was an issue between the work permit, the foreign bureau, and immigration. So I said I should come to Shanghai. I was flying to Shanghai with COVID killing people. I was putting myself at risk.
We'll talk about the COVID thing very soon.
I was going back and forth, and then the immigration was like, we can't give you visa. You have to go back to your country. And then work for company, you have to go out, then come back. And then and also for us to give you visa, we need the card. The foreign bureau was saying we can't give you the card without immigration giving you 1 month visa. Immigration was saying no, we need the card. I was just going
left, right. They're just tossing you.
Oh my goodness!
But during the COVID time, once you exit, I'm sorry, you're not coming back.
I knew. I was like, this is not going to work. Okay, and then the guy has already collected. He said he has finished his part. He's already collected his balance, just 25K. So completely, he took 25K. So when it was like, just go to immigration will give you. Then this whole back and forth. Then I was like, he was like, oh, it's not my fault though. I've done the one you pay me to do. Now it's between you getting your visa.
That's funny. Well, actually, he did his part though. But as an agent, you have to see to it that the person get the visa.
I was like a mad person. You get.
It's
like
crazy.
This is my everything. That one collected 5K. You collected. This is the whole thing.
30,000.
This is the whole thing from the whole. It's gone.
Aside printing and
aside traveling, aside the hotel I go to stay when I arrive in Shanghai, because it's not a day stuff. This is all on me. This is my everything. And you took it and you're feeling like nothing. And then I just stayed back, and then they were just extending the whole to 2 months stuff. And what stood out for me was this, because when the whole thing happened and I was crying, there was a day I was crying, I was praying about it, and then I heard clearly, I didn't listen. There was this voice before I started, it told me not to, but because I was just anxious to just get my visa, I didn't listen. When I was crying and praying, the only thing I heard was Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord, and you know, don't even understand it. So at that way, I was like, God, I'm sorry, I didn't listen in the first instance, and I paid for it then.
There's something there, women and their instincts, eh?
And I was like, God, I'm sorry. Okay, this time I'm going to listen. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to go about certain stuff? Now I'm just going to trust in your own way. I don't know any way. I don't know any agent. Even if there's an agent, I don't have any money. Like, this is me, all of me. What do you want me to do? And fast forward to September, October. Okay, September, a friend of mine got a job with an agent like in Wuhan that they need foreigners and they can do the whole work visa thing. So she said, but first let her go and see how legit it is. If it works out, then she will share the contact. So she went October. It was legit. She came to Wuhan, so she shared the agent contact for myself and my friend. So the agent started, and then things were getting a bit better. The lockdown ended. Immigrations were like, okay, no longer giving 2 months, for 2 months to 1 month. I think my whole of my passport was just for T visa. So that was how she was able to secure. They did it, and I went to immigration to extend. The lady humiliated the heaven out of me.
Hey.
She did. I literally cried in the immigration office, and in her presence, I lifted up my eyes. In fact, she was looking at me, and I said, God, if you don't give me work visa, if you don't do it for me, I'm not coming back here. I'm going back to my country. I'm done. In her presence, I just collected my passport. She just gave me 16 days. That was what she gave me on my passport. Not even 1 month. And I said, I'm done.
16 days.
Yes. Then I went back home, and then the agent just said she needed a little time. Let my work permit come out. That's all she needed. So the 16 days was enough. In fact, it was 2 more days to the visa expiring. That's when she told me that your work permit is out. Take your bag.
I'm telling you, man. When that work permit comes out, it's a different deal, you know you are definitely going to get the work visa.
But funny enough, I don't believe it.
Oh, but these days,
I don't believe it. I see my visa in my passport.
These days, because of policy changes and all that, right?
God.
So it's a nice feeling having a work permit and not to working and not to look
left and right and black shoes, and black jackets.
You know, yeah, with all the melanin, and I'm going to be like, who is that? Who is that lady in that classroom teaching? Let's go and find out whether she has permits to work. And then if they come and you don't have it, I'm sorry, you're done. You have to go. So on the work visa, how has it been? Like, it's enjoyable, yes?
Yes, rest of mind. You have rest of mind. But at the same time, there is also, okay, what if the policy change? Because I've seen people with the work visa, they go back to extend and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're no longer, this policy has changed, that policy has changed. And then you're just, it's like they just uproot you without giving you a heads up or something. So it's a good thing, but at the same time, don't just rest. Don't put all of you.
You always have to be ahead
of. Always have a plan, backup plan, B, C, D, even to Z. Just have your backup plan.
When it comes to visa, you always have to be like
10 steps ahead.
10 steps ahead. You should be like 7 months ahead before
your current
visa expires. So, because as an African, as a non-native, on a working visa, it's hectic.
And gone are those days whereby because you graduate any major, the country just give you teaching visa. Now you have to provide
2 years working
proof, certificate. So I would just tell anyone, if you're lucky to get the teaching work visa, don't just sit down. Pick an online course on education. The 1 year you have while you're teaching, be improving yourself, get a 1 year associate certificate or stuff, just so that when you're going to extend and they're like, oh, we are no longer giving this, like, oh, I have a educational certificate to add to my degree, and it will be easier to further for you. Just don't sit and relax like that.
Right.
Or you have something, just have a backup plan. That's just it.
Have a backup plan. Okay. I think we've spoken a lot. Let's try and wrap things up.
Okay.
Let's look at we've talked about a whole lot of stuff. We've mentioned COVID. Let's talk about how was it like in those early stages from that time until now.
It was frightening. It was really frightening because we don't actually know what was going on. We just keep hearing. Okay, it's first of all started as a secret kind of coded ways, like something is going on, something's not going on. You don't know what you don't know what. And then before WHO came out to say this is a global pandemic or something, and the fear came in. Just stay safe indoors. Okay, indoors, they're like, how am I going to survive without working, eating, paying for bills, and all that. But now, I think the aftermath of COVID is even worse than the COVID itself. the after, because the treatment you start getting, like, I'm not the one, I'm not COVID. Why you?
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
not
right?
COVID. Why
I
you
know, right?
treating me like? But I think so far it's with the whole news and the relaxing of border things. We're just
Mm,
hoping for the best for this
right.
country. And I applaud the government the way they tackled and handled things in their own way.
In their
In
own
their
way.
own way.
In their own way,
Because you
yeah.
won't blame them. The population
Of
is
course.
much, so they're trying to protect their
Of
country.
course. Of course.
So
Very understandable.
in all, we're grateful. We're grateful so
So
far.
so now the things are back to normal.
Yeah.
Technically, things are back to normal.
Yeah.
There are no more restrictions. People can
Mm,
travel wherever
and
they want.
that means less work visa for Africans.
Let's. You see, this because I was talking to my agent. I was like, there's someone who needs
Good job.
work, and she was like, no, she's no longer looking for teachers. I'm like, you're no longer looking for teachers. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
but it's just here. I mean,
Yeah.
there are other cities that will give you the visa if you qualify. Few cities will
Few
give you.
cities. Well, I think COVID provided that opportunity, teaching opportunity for us, and now that
Right.
it's wrapping up, God, I know God will help us. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, just
Uh,
just try and get more teaching
Experience,
experience,
certificates to add
certificates
to it.
that you can add to it. That's, I mean,
Yeah,
that will be very
better.
helpful
Yeah.
for you to get the visa. So we didn't work for almost what?
Yeah, 4 months now,
Almost
I
4 months,
think.
right?
Yes, yes.
How was it like?
Hey.
No money.
See, funny enough, I knew that we were not going to work for 4 months.
You knew.
I knew ahead of time. Like, there's this particular day I woke up, and as I was doing my morning devotion, like, I have this guide. I don't know. I just have this guide. He guides me to when things are about to happen. I just know ahead of time, and I wake up singing some kind of songs. If I know something, a warfare is like something's gonna happen, there's a
You can
song I
tell.
wake up, I sing. If I know it's something good news, there's a song I wake up with my spirit and I sing. So when I started singing, I knew. I knew that something. So I just started praying. So I just, like, Holy Spirit divine, just one thing I asked for: lead me through this stuff and help me not to. You are my source. Because if you're my source, you take care of me. That was
Right.
what I just said. So when the first month came, my friends said, oh, da, 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 da. I just said, if he be, oh, I just said it all that in pidgin. I said, if he be, now this whole semester we don't go. So I don't say that. I said, okay, let's have faith. Let's believe God. The second one came, so that it was November. The thing done on hand. They were like, oh, it's China. We can resume 1 month. Just work for 1 month and go back. I was like, please just accept this. And I said, please stop stressing yourself.
Don't stress
Don't stress
yourself.
yourself. I like, if it's all through COVID in 2020, you see, 4 months is nothing. Don't worry. That was what I told her. And it didn't really bother me that much. Like, I wasn't shaking like before, where, this time there was just this peace. Peace. That was just how I knew that, yeah, taking care of everything. Just peace.
Well, that's good to know. So the testing, did you like it? Every day tested.
Oh my God. Like, there's a particular period my whole tongue was swollen with sore because of they will
The way
twist. Well,
they swap the
I think I prefer it compared to the one I was hearing people coming from the UK, or like with your
Yes,
nose.
I don't like that.
No,
I don't
no,
like.
no.
I hate
No,
things
no,
going into
no,
my
no,
nose.
no, no. So at least the whole tongue thing, it was okay. It was okay. And it was just down. No longer have to go to the hospital. Just your gait. They made it easier. That's the one thing I love about this country. They make it easier for the citizen. Everywhere you are, you can just do the swapping thing and go back to your house.
Right. So right now everyone is happy because there's no longer this COVID restriction. People can travel.
We can fly out.
People can fly. I mean, people can go back to their country, enjoy their holiday, and then come back and then work. If you're a student, you can come in. You can still go back home, be with your family, come back in. And I would want to say that it's not. Even when the restrictions were still there, it wasn't that serious as mainstream media would actually make it look
True.
out there, because we were here, we are safe, and everything was going on smoothly. You can still go outside and buy your stuff as long as you sanitize your hand, wear your nose mask. But right now, like I said, things are back to normal. And if you leave the two of us, Ghana and Nigeria, we will talk and talk and talk and talk. But I think we should have a part two.
Ghana Jollof, Nigerian
But for
Jollof.
me, I would say it's Ghana Jollof, man. Any day, any time.
Go
It's,
Niger, all
it's Ghana
Nigerian
Jollof
Jollof.
any day, any time.
Don't worry, you're gonna do a cooking competition.
No mind, Ruth. It's Ghana Jollof. She told me secretly.
Oh my
It's all
goodness.
about Ghana Jollof. So don't sweat it. Why you know what talk? Why talk them now? It's all like she said.
See, Ghana Jollof, no doubt, is delicious. In fact, I've eaten
You
it
see,
countless times.
and with that we wrap.
That
She said, with that we wrap. She
is
said Ghana
Niger Jollof
Jollof
for life.
is the best. So please, let's end this. We've taken the cup.
For peace to reign.
Yes,
Let's
don't take it.
stop.
You know, Ghana is Ghana, my motherland,
Oh,
and
okay.
Nigeria, my fatherland. So in every situation, the lady
Mother's
wins.
food is always
So
the best.
yes, mother's food is
Okay.
always the best. So we don't take up.
Okay,
Don't take up.
nice one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Talk to Jojo, and I'm pretty sure you guys loved this little chat that we had. We're going to bring more interviews. We're going to reach out to more people, and we're definitely having a part two of this.
Oh my goodness.
So we're definitely having a part two of this. Please do also like and sub to my channel if you haven't, and put me on post notifications so that whenever I upload a video, you get a chance to see it. It's your boy J to the O to another J to the O. Yours truly, Jojo. Peace out.
Bye, guys.